Daredevil is Marvel's last hope. The MCU is in a crisis. Once an unstoppable force, it now struggles to maintain fan excitement. Major characters like Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Panther are gone or replaced. The newer heroes Ms. Marvel, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals haven't made the same impact. Even Spider-Man's future in the MCU is uncertain due to Sony's control. That leaves Daredevil one of the few characters that still has massive fan loyalty. His Netflix series was a fan favorite, and Charlie Cox's return in No Way Home and She-Hulk had people hyped. But if Daredevil Born Again fails, it proves that Marvel can even mess up the characters people already love. At this point, the MCU can't afford another loss. Secret Invasion flopped, the Marvels bombed, and audiences are getting tired of mediocre storytelling. Daredevil might be Marvel's last shot at winning back skeptical fans. If they can't even get him right when they already had a successful version, then how can anyone trust them to handle the X-Men, Fantastic Four, or Avengers in the future? Marvel keeps teasing that the X-Men are coming, but let's be real, if they're struggling to reboot one character, how are they going to handle a whole team? Daredevil already had a blueprint. The Netflix show gave Marvel everything they needed: a great lead actor, a beloved villain, and a story that fans already connected with. Yet Marvel is overcomplicating its soft-rebooting parts of the story, firing writers mid-production and removing key characters like Karen and Foggy. Now imagine them doing this with Wolverine, Magneto, or Storm. If they can't get Daredevil right, what hope do we have for the X-Men? We've already seen what happened when they rushed the mutant Stark Phoenix. Anyone. Born Again is proof of whether Marvel can handle grounded, character-driven stories or if they've lost their ability to tell them at all. The Netflix comparison will destroy it. You ever see a bad remake of a great movie? That's what Born Again is up against. The original Daredevil show wasn't just good, it was one of the best superhero stories ever made. Brutal fights, deep storytelling, and a tone that made it stand out from the rest of the MCU. Fans still rewatch it because it holds up. Now, imagine Born Again comes out and it's full of PG-13 action with no blood, forced jokes that ruin serious moments, a less intense Kingpin who isn't as scary, a forgettable, filler-packed plot. If Marvel doesn't meet the high bar that Netflix already set, fans will tear it apart online. They won't just dislike it, they'll be angry that Marvel ruined one of their favorite heroes. And when the internet turns against something, it's game over. Disney Plus shows have lost their magic. Remember when Marvel shows felt exciting? When WandaVision had the whole internet making theories? When Loki was must-watch TV? Now, most people don't even finish Marvel shows. She-Hulk, more remembered for twerking with Megan Thee Stallion than its story. Secret Invasion bombed so hard, even Samuel L. Jackson couldn't save it. Echo, released with no hype and forgotten within a week. Born Again has to prove that Marvel shows still matter, because if it's another filler-heavy, low-stakes series that sets up the next thing instead of telling a great story, fans will check out for good. People don't have infinite patience. If Born Again is another half-baked Disney Plus show, the MCU's TV era might officially be dead. The rewrites prove Marvel has no plan. Imagine this: you're excited for a movie, you hear it's in production, but then suddenly, the writers get fired halfway through. The script is completely thrown out and rewrite. The tone and direction of the project changes midway. Wouldn't that make you nervous? Because that's exactly what happened with Born Again. Marvel originally planned an 18-episode season, but when execs saw what was being made, they freaked out and restarted everything. That's not a good sign. It means they started this project without a real vision. And this isn't the first time. The MCU has been scrambling since Endgame, changing plans, delaying movies, and rewriting stories at the last minute. Looking at you, Quantumania. Born Again is a perfect test of whether Marvel has finally figured things out or if they're still making it up as they go. Marvel originally hyped up Daredevil. Born Again is an 18-episode show, the longest MCU Disney Plus series yet. At first, fans were excited. More Daredevil should mean better storytelling, right? But then reality hit. Most MCU shows struggle to fill even 6 episodes with compelling content. Shows like Secret Invasion and Echo felt padded with filler, dragging out simple plots just to meet episode quotas. If Born Again ends up stuffed with pointless subplots, slow pacing, or forced setup for future projects, fans will lose patience fast. On the flip side, if Marvel rushes the story, it could feel disjointed and empty, like Secret Invasion's wasted Skrull invasion storyline. Instead of making Born Again an engaging, action-packed series, Marvel might turn it into another drawn-out, underwhelming slog. One of the best things about Netflix's Daredevil was Wilson Fisk, one of the most terrifying, grounded villains in the MCU. But when he returned in Hawkeye, he suddenly became a cartoon character. In Daredevil, he was a brutal, intelligent crime lord who controlled Hell's Kitchen through fear and manipulation. In Hawkeye, he got hit by a car, exploded, and still walked away, feeling more like a superhuman than a street-level Kingpin. So which version are we getting in Born Again? If Marvel tones him down, he might lose his menace. If they make him overpowered, it ruins the grounded tone that made Daredevil special. Fans want the Kingpin, not a nerfed or exaggerated version that doesn't fit Daredevil's world. If Marvel can't nail Fisk, it could throw the whole show off balance. Marvel has a habit of changing characters to fit their new tone. Thor started as a Shakespearean warrior, now he's a full-blown goofball. Hulk went from an unstoppable rage monster to a chill professor who barely fights. Doctor Strange became the MCU's new Iron Man, cocky, sarcastic, and always the smartest guy in the room. The question is, will Daredevil still be Daredevil? The Netflix version was known for its brutal, intense, and serious storytelling. The fights had real weight, and Matt Murdock wasn't cracking jokes every 5 seconds. But after his lighter appearance in She-Hulk, fans are worried that Disney will soften him too much, turning him into a watered-down, PG-13 version of himself. If Born Again removes Daredevil's edge, fans will instantly call it out. Marvel can't afford to strip him of what made him great. Karen Page and Foggy Nelson weren't just side characters in Daredevil, they were his heart and soul. Their relationships with Matt grounded him, making the stakes feel personal. Yet, Born Again initially left them out completely. This decision immediately raised red flags. Why remove two of the most beloved characters in the franchise? It made no sense until Marvel suddenly changed course and decided to bring them back after massive backlash. This proves Marvel wasn't listening to fans from the start. If they thought Daredevil could work without Karen and Foggy, what other bad creative decisions did they make behind the scenes? The fact that they had to fix this mistake after fan outrage shows that Born Again could already be going down the wrong path. Daredevil might just be another setup show. One of the biggest complaints about modern Marvel content is that nothing feels self-contained anymore. Instead of telling complete stories, everything is just set up for the next thing. Like Doctor Strange 2 was more about setting up the multiverse than actually telling a strong standalone story. Secret Invasion teased a bigger Skrull war but gave us nothing meaningful. Ant-Man 3 wasn't about Ant-Man, it was about setting up Kong. Will Born Again actually focus on Daredevil? Or will it just exist to connect to Spider-Man 4 or another crossover? If it doesn't tell a tight, meaningful story on its own, fans will immediately check out. The MCU needs to earn back trust, not just build hype for the next thing. The MCU is at a critical turning point. The days of guaranteed success are over. Every new project is under intense scrutiny, with disappointing box office numbers, declining Disney Plus viewership, and fan patience running out. Marvel needs a win. That's why Daredevil Born Again is so important. It's not just about Daredevil, it's about whether Marvel can still deliver great storytelling without relying on nostalgia, forced humor, or rushed setups for future projects. If Born Again nails the tone, the action, and the story, it could be the revival the MCU desperately needs. But if it feels like another soulless, watered-down, corporate product, it will confirm what many fans already fear, that Marvel has lost its touch. At this point, Daredevil is one of the last characters fans still believe in. If Marvel messes this up, it's not just a failed show, it's another major crack in the MCU's foundation. And with big projects like the X-Men and Fantastic Four coming soon, Born Again is a warning sign. If Marvel can't even get Daredevil right, what hope is there for the future?